Man now, you already know. It's live, it's raw, it's going down. Like this. I'm going around and letting everybody know that they welcome to the show. It's the latest thing you ever seen, you already know. Let me introduce you to your host of the hour. It be Mike and Mike. Yeah, it's the Man Hour. Got the hottest plays, all the breaking news. Every rumor, every trade, every breaking bruise. Tighten up the screws, yeah, it's going down. Have you saying what the fuck and never watered down? It's going down, I'll be rolling up. And if you buy it or you sell it, then you made the cut. Watch me flip it back, I can double up. I got sriracha for that ass, I'ma burn it up. Gotta check the rules, but know that it be fair and foul. Rep blow the whistle, coach throw the towel. We can do this on the field or outside the lines. It's the Man Hour though, now we going live.
And what is up, everybody? Michael Buckeister here with the Man Hour After Dark, episode 1, coming at you with my man, brother from another mother, Brandon effing Coombs. What's up, Coombs?
What is going on, people? It is going to be lit tonight. I am going to yell at Buckeister a lot.
You are not going to yell at me because you know I am always right, because LeBron is definitely better than Michael Jordan. We already established that. So, guys, if you are wondering what this Man Hour After Dark is, this is an extension of Triple Shot Sports, which Brandon Coombs is the host of Triple Shot Sports, and Mike and Mike Man Hour, which obviously I am the host of the Man Hour. And we've combined two gingers for After Dark to more live, raw, and uncut sports talk. So first things first, Brandon, tell the people about yourself. Where do you come from? What's your show all about? All that good stuff, man.
Hey, so yeah, I mean, you catch us on Triple Shot Sports every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. We are on there. We're about a lot of sports, about a lot of yelling at each other, jawing with one another, getting each other going, pushing buttons. I'm out of Chicago. I'm a big Chicago Cubs, Chicago Bears guy, as you can tell by the background and the shirt.
No idea.
But yeah, I mean, look, I am a passionate guy about sports, but I am more passionate about yelling at people about sports. So that's why I'm here, and that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, and obviously, guys, from the Man Hour here, we kind of really focus more about the NFL side of things. I'm a huge football fan, mainly a NFL fan, because college to me is really hard to follow, and because like things are consistently changing. Like you have new players every couple years, and it's really tough. But we do cover a little bit of college football as as well. But the NFL side is definitely my passion on the things here, and I know a lot about the NFL because I'm a very, very smart individual, much smarter than Brandon Coombs, because obviously he's a Bears fan. Obviously he's not very, very smart. But speaking of football here, we have been blessed with this season of downs, right? We've had injuries, we've had teams sucking, and there's a very good possibility that there will be a team from the NFC East that is going to make the playoffs with a losing record. A losing record that is not 8-8. I'm talking 7-9 and worse. So 7-9, 6-10, 5-11, and I believe I forget who it was, but it was some API said that they are projecting the Philadelphia Eagles to win the NFC East with the 6-10 record. Coombs, you have been on record many, many times saying that there should be no losing team to make the playoffs, especially in the NFL, right?
Oh, yeah.
With that being said,
absolutely.
How would you fix it?
So it's almost like, it's almost like what baseball did this year, where they went with 8 teams, and you had your top 2 in the division and your 8. But you can't do that if you're trying to eliminate bad teams, because this year the NFC East, the winner of that division is going to be either 6-10 or 7-9. There's no way the Cowboys are going to go on a big run, especially now without Dak Prescott. Their season's hanging on a leg. See what I did there? But no, you can't. You're going to get those teams out there, and you can't do that. So what you do is you pick it in the AFC, NFC like you do now, but you just do top 8. You do like the NHL does. You go by points as opposed to divisions, or at least what they used to do. You just take your top 8, and that's what it should be. There's no way you're going to tell me that you're going to have let's say New Orleans Saints or Tampa Bay Buccaneers or one of those teams that's going to end up being like 11-5 or 12-4 and make the playoffs, and they're going to have to go on the road to Dallas or to Philadelphia and play in January. when against a team that was 6-10 or 7-9. That's a joke. The NFL absolutely needs to fix it. It's absolutely a joke.
That is not a joke. I mean, it is not their fault that they are in a division where just all the teams are below 500.
But it is their fault that they don't win games. You're 6-10. It doesn't matter if your division's down or not. You're 6-10. So you're not only was your division down, but you couldn't even really beat them because you had 6 wins, or you took advantage of a weak division, and those were the only 6 games you won. You couldn't beat the rest of the league. So you've already proven that you don't belong in with the rest of the league. It's stupid.
It is not stupid because we see teams year in and year out that are 11-5, and they are a wild card seed because they're in the same division as the Kansas City Chiefs, and they are a 12-4 team. So
right.
You see it. So I mean, there is it doesn't matter if your division is really good or really bad. As long as you win the division, you have every right to have a.
So what about those teams? What about those teams that are left out in the cold who were 8-8 or 9-6, but they don't make it into the playoffs, even though they're 8-8, 9-6, and they're better than the every team in that division, and they get left out of the playoffs? It's not luck of the draw. It's the way that it's designed. It's a flaw in the system. That's not luck of the draw. It's a flaw.
Well, this is a really an outlier because let's be honest, the Cowboys are an habitual 8-8 team. They are very rarely this bad moving forward. So I mean, and to be honest, in the 2020 season, I think they'll be perfectly fine. Anyways, they'll finish out the season 8-8, 9-7 because Andy Dalton is going to lead them to the promised land. But when you say they should do it like the NHL. So what is the point of the divisions then? I mean, what is the point of having all these rivalries of these divisions if you just want to?
I'm fine if you don't go with divisions. Just break it into AFC and NFC. The baseball did it for how long? Baseball was just American League and National League, and what they did was they used to, before they expanded their playoffs, they just took the top 2 from you had the American League and National League. You had the top 2 teams in each league, and they would go at it in the championship series, then go to the World Series. And then he expanded it, and now they have what they have now. But you can't, especially in the NFL, where it's only a 16-game season, and you say that this means so much. That's why you keep it a short season, is because you want the regular season to mean something. Right. But then you want the regular season to mean something. You're going to let a 6-10 team go to the playoffs while a 9-7 or a 10-6 team sits at home. That's garbage.
It is not garbage because when you win the division, you are proving that you are better than 3 other teams in your division. Some 4. But hey, when you get to the division and you win it, you get to the playoffs and you have earned something. You have earned a division win. You definitely deserve a home playoff game. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I mean, what you're saying, I see what you're saying. Yes, I mean, it's it sucks that the 7-9 Seahawks beat the 13-3 New Orleans Saints back in 2009 or whatever it was. That sucks. Yes, it is going to suck when the 6-10 Cowboys are a 4th seed in the NFC playoffs and they beat the Buccaneers in the first round as a 5th. It's
not happening with Andy Dalton at the helm.
It is. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it is it sucks, but I do not like your top 8 teams from each D.
They absolutely division. Need to go that way, especially in the NFL. I understand it more in hockey and baseball where you have longer seasons, so sure you can control your destiny and all that. And if you win your division at 82-82 and you get in, that's one thing. But to be here at 16 games,
you are still a 500 team.
Yeah, but you're a 500 team. There's nobody in baseball is getting in under 500, and really, to be honest with you, nobody is getting in baseball at 500. That's just so. That's why in the NFL they need to absolutely just go to this. I mean, we're only 9.5 minutes into the Man Hour After Dark, and I am already smacking you down.
Well, you see, this is really not a debate because I kind of agree with you one way or the other. Because Jameson, my man, a top fan here on the Mike and Mike Man Hour, says winning your division shouldn't guarantee you shit.
Attaboy.
I do disagree in a extent. Winning your division should get you into the playoffs one way or the other. Should it guarantee you a home game? No, but it should definitely get you into the playoffs.
I mean, that's an even. I mean, just to give them a home game too is just another absolute debacle that the NFL is just dropping. The NFL plays 16 games. There is no reason why you can't split up to AFC and NFC. And I don't care if you have to go AFC and NFC and move some teams around. So if you have like the Baltimore Ravens, if it makes more sense to move them to the NFC and you split it East and West and keep the AFC out West and the NFC out East, find a line and do it, that's fine. But the NFL absolutely needs to go to its top 8 teams, because having 6 and 10 teams make the playoffs, while again 9 and 7 teams, 10 and 6 teams might be sitting at home, that you can't. That's garbage. That's absolute garbage. And if you're a fan of that 10 and 6 team and you're watching the Dallas Cowboys play on the first week of January, I mean, come on, man. How would you feel as the Kansas City Chiefs? Say the Kansas City Chiefs were back to mediocrity, okay, after losing to the Raiders. They might end up there, but that's a whole nother story. We'll talk about that later and how overrated Patty Mahomes is. But
get out of here with that.
If you had a 10 and 6 Chiefs team and the 6 and 10 Cowboys team makes the playoffs, how happy are you watching a wild card round?
You know what? We have been there year in and like year out, because you consistently in the last 5 or 6 years you've seen AFC teams 11-5, 10-6 miss the playoffs when you have 8-8 NFC teams make the playoffs. So I mean, like, you can take all the 8 teams you want, but in theory, it should be the top 16 teams total in the whole NFL if you want to go that route. And if you were going that route, you might see 2 NFC teams in the playoffs year in and year out, because the AFC is so much better than the NFC.
And Mike Reeves, man, I see your comment, buddy. As a Red Rocket yourself, how dare you speak to Andy like that? Look, I am not a Red Rocket. I am the Red Rocket, sir.
You are the second fiddle to this Red Rocket.
No.
Jesus.
It's opposite way around.
But speaking of Mike Reeves, he says the division battles are great for the NFL. That is very, very true. The best teams make it further, so who really cares about the bottom?
Because at the bottom, if you've got a 10 and 6 team that's sitting at home, you didn't get your best teams in the playoffs. So you didn't get the best competition in the playoffs, and that's ultimately what the playoffs are about. It's about the best teams going at it and fighting for a championship. So you can't have your best teams in the playoffs when you have a 6 and 10 Dallas Cowboys or a 6 and 10 Eagles or a 6 and 10 Washington, not Redskins anymore, in the playoffs. You don't have your best teams. Rockets after two. Ooh, I kind of like that. Hey, make the logo for that, Reeves.
No, do not. But see, that is what is so intriguing about the NFL. Any given Sunday, you can have a 0-14 team beat a 14-0 team. We've seen it in the Super Bowl. The New York Giants squeaked into the playoffs. I believe they were 8-8 that season.
Right.
They beat the 18-0 New England Patriots in the Super Bowl.
We've also seen a 16 team beat a 1 seed in March Madness, but it doesn't mean that it's going to happen every year, and it doesn't mean that it's what needs to happen.
It happens in more time than not in the NFL. It is all about when the team is clicking at the right time.
Then again, to that same extent, though, you've never seen a 16 team beat a 1 seed after the 16th seed was below 500, because 16 seeds don't get in to tournaments below 500. They don't even do it in college. I mean,
teams okay. Well, if you want to go that route, you are 100% correct. 16 seeds don't, because they have to win their conference tournament. Normally, the teams that are below 500 are the 10, 11, 12 seeds.
They don't do that either. You're wrong. They don't do that.
Look at last year's March Madness bracket before it got canceled. I believe there were there were 7 below 500 teams or 500 teams in the NCAA.
I'll look at that, but I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all.
Look it up right now. I guarantee you.
I'll look it up.
There were many 11 and 12 teams. There were 10 and 13. I believe there was a team. I think they had 10 wins on the season, and they got hot at the right time. They won their conference tournament, and they got an automatic bid. So if you want to go that route, I mean, just clear off all mediocrity across all forms of the aspect.
So
if you are a 500 team on any sport, sorry, you can't have any postseason to turn and play.
So how about NFL goes to this then? If you want to go that route, how about you go NFL goes to this? You play 12 games and then you run a 4-game interdivision tournament to get into the damn playoffs. How about that?
Say that again. I'm sorry. So you want interdivision
interdivision playoff bracket to play into the playoffs.
So
you have to win
want
your
to
division
eliminate
tournament.
divisions, but then you want to have an interdivision playoff game.
Well, I mean, if you don't want to eliminate the divisions, I'm just proposing something else. If you want to keep the divisions.
So what you're saying is they have a tournament for interdivision. So like a round robin,
Yeah.
they play each other twice, and the best team from the division makes it to the playoffs.
Or you just go
Exactly
single
what the
elimination.
NFL season is now, right?
You can go single elimination.
So
you know?
exactly what the NFL playoff system is now, right?
No, it's not what the playoff system is right now. No, it's not.
You win your division, you get into the playoffs.
But it's not. That's not the same thing right now that I'm talking about with the interdivision playoff thing. You don't just play them to get into the playoffs. You play them. So in order for the Cowboys or the Eagles or even the not Redskins anymore, which they are still alive, and I could absolutely see Washington coming in and pulling out this division at 5-11 or even 4-12. Jesus Christ! Can you imagine if we have a 4-12 division winner? I will lose my ever-loving mind.
Listen, Coombs, I am with you on this 100%. Like I don't think a team below mediocrity should be able to make it into the playoffs. And if a 4-12, a 5-11 team makes it into the playoffs, I guarantee you, in the offseason, there's some type of realignment somehow, some way. Now,
there should be.
Now, how would they do that? I don't know. Like I do remember last summer in the CBA talks, they were talking about the top 8 teams from 8 divisions making it into the playoffs. But I don't like that either. I like the division aspect of the NFL. I like the rivalries that we have. We have the Packers versus the Vikings, the Lions versus the Bears, the Cowboys and the Eagles.
Oh my!
Yeah, me like you always have those big rivalry games, and like I think you have to keep the division simply for that sake. But
I think you could still have the rivalries even if you're interconference, because you're still going to have. Look at college football. You still have your conference rivals. I mean, granted, they have divisions, but you still have your rivalries. You still have college football has each conference broken down into 2 divisions, and then at the end they play a conference tournament. That's what they do, or a conference championship. I mean, so it's basically the same thing that I'm talking about now, but just in the pros, and I don't see a problem with it. I do think, obviously the college system is a totally different conversation, but I think the NFL needs to absolutely look at just having 2 conferences and your top 8. Hell, even if you want to make it your top 10, let's have 20 teams in the freaking playoffs. I mean, if you're going to let 6 and 10 teams in,
makes it to the postseason.
Yeah, if you're going to let 6 and 10 teams in, let's just start it all. Let's just have a freaking 17-game tournament and then the Super Bowl,
So Jameson has been chomping at the bits on this, and he says they desperately need to realign if they restick to the divisions. And he has posted the same thing four times here, James, and we see it. Here. There we go.
Oh.
Put it up on the screen here.
Jesus. Check out this out. Wait, what did it say? I lost it.
Oh, there you go.
Buck and Combs NFL Division Realignment. Northeast, Pats, Bills, Giants, Jets, South. No, I don't want division. I don't want divisions. AFC, NFC. That's all you need.
But let's say they were to realign the divisions in the NFL, right? Like we are still going to have the 8 divisions, 4 in the NFC, 4 in the AFC. In your mind, how would you realign? There you go, Tim. I'm doing twice.
I just saw that. You do kind of look like you're in a freaking bomb shelter.
Yeah. So Cindy makes me go out into the garage because like we have like a kind of a small house, like we're transitioning into a larger house still.
Yeah.
Like boxes everywhere and stuff like that. So I've been put like into the garage in this little corner here. I'm trying to make it like my home, you know. So
there you go.
but so yeah. So let's quickly realign the divisions.
Okay.
How would you make the divisions more competitive? Would you
I
do it
think
more
that
by
the divisions.
region, or-
Yeah, I think the divisions are just fine competitively. I think the only division that hasn't really been competitive over the last, I don't know, 20 years has been the AFC East. I think that out of every other division, nobody's really dominated, obviously, the way that the Patriots have dominated their division. Right. No other team has really done that. So I don't think that there's not competitive balance in divisions, because there is. But when you have years, and you have one every year where you have a division that has a down year, you can't allow you can't reward those divisions for bad play. You know, it's like I mean, you're a dad, I'm a dad. If your son comes home with on his report cards, comes home with 2 D's and 3 F's on his report card, you taking him out for ice cream that night?
Well, it depends if his
well, if everybody else in the class has all F's, you're like, okay, well, you got 3 D's, so let's go. I mean, because that's what you're doing with these divisions.
Right. So, I mean, like, the one thing I would like to see is, like, more of, like, a regionally sound division. Yeah. You know, because if you... Let's take the AFC West for example. You have the Chiefs, the Broncos, the Raiders, and the Chargers.
Boy, the Raiders looked good yesterday.
Yeah, they did. Yes, they are all technically in the West, but you are traveling from Kansas City to LA. I mean, like on a plane, you're looking at what, 7 hours, like 8-hour trip. I mean, it's just yep. ridiculous. So, I mean, definitely, you know, kind of compact the divisions alike a little bit. You know, just do it by yep. the region. Much, I mean, pretty much what like Jameson said was spot on. So here in the NFC East, he had the Patriots, Bills, Giants, and Jets. I mean, yeah, I mean, they're all right there. It makes perfect sense. And then the South, he has the Falcons, Dolphins, Jaguars, and Bucks. Okay. And what
if you did like soccer does? So soccer over, you know, overseas or whatever in Europe, they do the relegations. What if you took the bottom 2 from every division every year and made them play a side tournament next to the playoffs? So you have your playoff tournament and your lower seed, and have them play for the number 1 pick in the draft. Wouldn't that be fun?
So you want to
you call it the toilet bowl. You call it the toilet bowl.
Yeah, but
well, no, but then you're getting the best out of the worst, and they're competing for the number 1 pick. So instead of tanking, like you got all this, you know, tank for Trevor talk. Instead of tanking, now you got to win for Trevor. You know.
Well, but I see what you're saying. But then the horrible teams are obviously going to get beat in the first round of that tournament, right? So
not really. I mean, if you get the Giants and Jets, I mean, who like is that really? Do you look at like, man, who the hell's going to win? You know what I mean? Like, oh, that game's definitely going to get dominated. You get down to the bottom 2 in each division, unless you get like a division like the NFC South, where I could see the Panthers, you know, being a clear favorite to win that tournament or something like that, but. I would like, or maybe even if you went to the straight 8, like I'm talking about, go with straight 8 and then have the bottom, you know, 22 or whatever it is, or wait, 16, so 14. Have the bottom 14 teams play in the we call it the toilet bowl.
Yeah, I see your thought process there, but
you like it, don't you? You like it though.
I don't like it.
What?
Yes,
It's more football. What do you mean you don't like it?
It is more football, but it is for a number 1 pick, and you want the worst team to have the number 1 pick in the end. Like, you don't want the best of the worst team to have the number 1 pick, right?
Why not?
Because that defeats the purpose of like.
Do you really care if the Jets get better or not?
I don't, but
all right then.
But like, okay, let's say it is like, say your Chicago Bears are in that toilet bowl, which they will be because they are complete trash, and like they lose in the first round, And so they get the 17th overall pick, and then they draft Long Beach State's kicker. Like, are you going to be happy about that?
No.
Because then you are in the same exact position next year as you were now, and then you lose in the first round again. You get the 17th pick again, and this time you.
All right. How about this then? Instead of the toilet bowl tournament, how about this? You go to actual relegation, and you send the Jets and the Giants back down to play college ball, and you bring up Alabama and LSU, and let them play.
That would make perfect sense, but Alabama sucks and LSU sucks.
Well, hey, I mean, Alabama's constantly better than the best NFL team, or worst NFL team, I should say.
Really?
Yeah, I think a couple years ago, I think they could have beat the Cleveland Browns for sure.
I don't know, man. Like, you are still looking at college talent, 17, 18-year-old kids versus grown-ass men. So
yeah, but a lot of these grown-ass men that are playing are only 2 or 3 years out of college. It's not like, it's not like you're sitting there. It's not like every team is comprised of 30-year-old talent.
You're right.
You got these guys. I mean, and these guys some of these guys who are playing college ball are 22, 23 years old themselves. So
I see what you're saying, but there's you can take the best Alabama team. Like, I don't know, I gotta watch Alabama football that much. But what year did they win the last national championship? Was it 2017?
2 years ago, 2018, I believe.
Yeah. So let's say they take that 2018 team with Tua, like he was on there. Who else was on there? There's
Tua. You had Ridley. You had
right.
I mean, they were stacked.
Yeah, you take them and put them
Judy.
against the Cleveland Browns that same year. I think the Cleveland Browns win 9 out of 10.
No way.
10 times.
I don't see that at all. So let me ask you this: so you say that you got guys that are you got guys going up against grown men. Well, everybody believes that Trevor Lawrence is going to come into the league and he's going to start next year. So if you've got a guy like Trevor Lawrence coming in to start next year, so he's ready for the NFL. So let's see it.
Yeah, but he might be ready for the NFL, but the rest of the players around him are not ready for the NFL.
Tell me you wouldn't like to see that, though. I mean, relegation, or even if you're going to go to relegation, make them play the best at the 2 teams from the college championship playoff. Have them play the top 2 teams in that playoff, and if they can beat them, then they stay in the NFL, and if they don't, then you gotta. I don't know. You got to sit out a year or something.
Well,
I wouldn't mind seeing the Jets sit out a couple of years, or the Washington Redskins anymore.
So we did this in professional paintball. Meaning, like, of course, there's 4 divisions. So
there's professional paintball.
Yeah, I did it for like 9 years. It was actually a lot of fun. I got to travel the world, meet a lot of weird people, and listen to a lot of dumb stuff.
Is that how you got the stutter? You got pelted with paintballs?
Actually, I was deep. No. Cut the line right there. No. But in paintball, they had that rule at the end of each season. The 2 bottom teams from the professional drop down to Division 1. Top 2 teams in Division 1 jump up to the pros, and so on and so forth. Now the XFL is they're making the XFL is the next greatest thing, yada yada yada.
Hey, Dwayne Johnson at the helm. It's not going to be horrible. I can tell you that.
Well, I mean,
that man's not going to put his name on it if it's going to be awful.
Yeah, I mean, you are 100% correct. Like on that, like he is going to put all of his money into it and probably lose it. But but if you really want to do that, why not take a league like the XFL and play it on Saturdays in the middle of football season? And then at the end of the year, have the best 2 teams from the XFL drop, that type of thing.
Hey, I'm all for it. And that's the thing, too. I mean, that's a perfect partnership for The Rock because he went in with his ex-wife, and she gets alimony. So she ain't going to let him lose all his money. So they're going to work their asses off, and they're going to make that thing work.
Right. Yeah, but yeah, the problem with the NFL is, like, there's so much parity now still. Yeah. I mean, like,
yeah.
Even, like, so... Let's be in agreement here in 2020. The Jets or the Giants are the worst team. Who do you think is is worse?
You got the Jets. You got the Giants.
So you take the Giants and put them against the Kansas City Chiefs. this week, arguably one of the best teams in the NFL.
I'd take Kansas City minus 72.
That's a lie, because we saw that the Kansas City Chiefs always play down to the competition.
Yeah, they do.
But you are still professional athletes. Like there is going to be no blowouts. There is going to be no 66-0 score at like halftime.
Right.
Just like that's just not going to happen. So, I mean, the NFL is pretty set at the end of the year. At the end of the day. So, guys, let's go ahead and take a quick little break. On the other side of the break, Coombs says Patrick Mahomes is overrated. I'm going to give you a chance, Coombs, to tell me why Patrick Mahomes is overrated, and then I'm going to tell you exactly why he's not overrated. Guys, this is the Man Hour After Dark. We'll be right back right after this.
Put your top down, turn your volume way up, cause you already know what's up. I'll be ride with the roof off, ride with the roof off, ride with the roof off, ride with the 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 roof off, ride with the roof off, ride with the roof off, ride with the 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 roof off, ride with the roof off, ride with the roof off, ride with it, ride with it, ride with it, ride with it, ride with the roof off, ride with the roof off.
Welcome back to the Man Hour. That is your boy Meezus, man. You guys need to check that man out on YouTube. Meezus is a YouTube rapper who is unsigned. Lots of people know his name, though. This man can absolutely rhyme. Check out Meezus on YouTube. He is the exclusive TSS music. So definitely check him out. We play him on all our breaks over there at Triple Shot Sports. So let's get to it, Buck. Let's get to why your boy Patty Mahomes is overrated.
So,
look, when you've got all of these weapons, and look, when I say overrated, I don't mean that he's garbage, because he's not. Look, Patrick Mahomes is the real deal. Patrick Mahomes is an NFL quarterback. Patrick Mahomes can absolutely sling the ball, and the kid knows how to win ball games, for sure. But is he, like everybody's calling him a ESPN, the future Hall of Famer, the that. Like, he is absolutely God right now in the NFL.
right.
And to me, when you've got the weapons that you've got, I think Lamar Jackson would have won in Kansas City. I think absolutely that Deshaun Watson would have put up the same exact numbers. I bet you if you swap Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes is having the same career Deshaun Watson's having, and Deshaun Watson's having the same career Patrick Mahomes is having. Because he got put into a system and was given weapons, was given the perfect coaching staff, was given everything was handed to him. So when you give a guy that, you're going to put up those numbers. You're going to succeed. You're going to do the things that he does. And kudos to him for putting up the numbers with what he's been given. Absolutely. But is he everything that the NFL makes him out to be? I don't think so. I think he's a little overrated.
So you can say what you want. So I agree with you. When you have weapons around you, it is easy to be great. When you have a great coaching staff around you, or a play caller like what Kansas City has, it is quote easy to be great. But at the same time, Patrick Mahomes makes the players around him elevate. So are you telling me if you put Tyreek Hill on the Baltimore Ravens right now with Lamar Jackson, Tyreek Hill is arguably a top 5 receiver in the NFL? The answer to that question is no, because Lamar
If you
Jackson
put
cannot throw the
Tyreek
ball
Hill,
down.
no, not if you put Tyreek Hill on the Ravens. If you put Lamar Jackson on the Kansas City Chiefs, because now you're switching it around and you're trying to use this little trickery, an argument on you've got more weapons than just Tyreek Hill.
Okay,
You've got your Kelsey. You've got who's the
you
other
have the
wide
whole
receiver
receiver
there?
core. You have
Yeah.
Hardman. You have Sammy
Sammy Watkins.
Which I believe is hurt. You have,
That offensive line is really,
Aaron
really
Pringle,
good. The defense
which
is
they're
pretty
injury
damn
prone too,
good. So look, I'm just saying,
just
if you
saying-
take him and put him in that system, they absolutely win.
So you are saying that you put Lamar Jackson on the Kansas City Chiefs, they are the same exact team as they are now. The
Absolutely.
answer to that question is absolutely not, because you literally have to change your whole offensive scheme to be able to fit
I
Lamar
actually think
Jackson.
that they're better with Lamar Jackson than they are with
Why?
Patrick Mahomes,
You
because
have
Lamar
no
Jackson
threat down
can.
the field. There's no reason to use your speed.
You have plenty of threats down the field, and then
You
you're
have
adding
threats down
now.
the field, but Lamar Jackson can't throw the ball down the field.
Yes,
that
he
far
can.
laterally.
You're out of your. You way underestimate Lamar Jackson's arm. Lamar Jackson's arm talent is very good.
His
When-
arm strength is very good. Show me his accuracy rating. Over 15 yards, he is less than 50%.
How many of that are drop passes? I've seen a lot of
matter.
his.
It's still
I.
below
What do you
50%.
mean it doesn't matter? How does that not matter? How does it? I hate when people say it doesn't matter. When you talk about a guy's like interceptions, like I watched. Who was I watching the other day? And
You weren't watching Jameson.
no. I was watching. I was watching. God, I can't remember the name of the. I can't remember which game it was. But anyway, he comes in and he goes to complete a pass, and it hits the receiver right in the hands, falls. The ball goes through his hands, hits his knee, pops up in the air, and the guy picks it off. But that's an interception on the quarterback.
Right.
Same thing, and it's also goes against his completion percentage. So completion percentage, interceptions are kind of an overrated stat to me. That's why I believe Jameson Winston's a top 10 quarterback in the league.
I wouldn't
because
say they're an overrated stat, but they're probably overused stat. So like saying he went 7 for 17 with 3 interceptions, right? So then they need to add, you can add a drop pass category like in there. So maybe just to make quarterbacks like Lamar Jackson feel better. Hey, I didn't have any receivers to catch the ball, but for you to say that Patrick Mahomes is overrated after one, I mean, and he didn't even have a bad game. He threw for 300.
I didn't say that after
yards.
just one game. I said that at the end of last season.
Either way. So you are mad because he had a quote down year because he didn't throw for 5,000 yards, and he missed three games. If he would have played those 3 games, he would have been over 5,000 yards again for a second year in a row.
Can I ask you a question?
Starting. You
Can I ask you a question?
I'm not going to answer it.
What quarterback last year did throw for over 5,000 yards? Because there was only one.
What quarterback is no longer a starter?
I asked you a question first. You answer my question, then I'll answer yours.
I answered your question with the question. This is Jeopardy. But what is Jameis Winston, the backup quarterback, third string quarterback for the New Orleans Saints?
He's not the third string quarterback. Stop it with that garbage.
Was he in there taking snaps when Drew Brees went out for the game? Nope, it was Taysom Hill.
Stop it.
So to me, when a starter goes back and a player comes in, normally that's a
Taysom
backup,
Hill is a
right?
gimmick. Is a gimmick guy. He's not a quarterback.
Gimmick, but he has more snaps this year than Jameis Winston at the quarterback position.
Okay. All right. You'll be eating crow. You'll be eating crow next year when Jameis Winston is leading the Saints to the Super Bowl.
I mean, I eat crow every day, anyways, because the Falcons are so fucking horrible. But I cannot. So let me clarify here. So I do not agree with the media or whoever is putting Patrick Mahomes on this pedestal, right? So that is why I am such a Lamar Jackson hater, is because he put himself up on this pedestal saying, I am the greatest. I'm going to lead the Ravens to the Super Bowl. I'm going to do this, this, and this.
He didn't put himself on that pedestal.
He got drafted. Patrick Mahomes did not put himself up on this pedestal. The media did. The people watching the football games did, because they see true talent in this kid.
So because a kid had confidence, you're holding that against him?
Yeah, because
he had confidence, and then what did he do? He got overlooked in the draft. Nobody even knew. I didn't know who the hell Lamar Jackson was until he came out and started doing what he did with the Ravens. But he had confidence. He had confidence in himself. He had confidence in his abilities, and then he came out and he proved it.
What has he proved? That he
come on, why? Because he lost the playoff game. You're all over him. Now, had he won that playoff game, you wouldn't have a freaking argument. But
okay.
So all right. So Peyton Manning was a great regular season quarterback.
The best regular season quarterback, right?
Yeah. I don't know about that, but he couldn't win in.
Caught you there, didn't I?
He couldn't really win in the playoffs. He couldn't get it done. He couldn't get past Tom Brady. And then you look at guys like look at Aaron Rodgers. Look at Brett Favre. These great Green Bay quarterbacks, so damn good, Hall of Fame quarterbacks. Each one of them has only won once.
You are right there, but they've also won once, right? Therefore, that means
he's only in his third year in the league. So because he hasn't won a Super Bowl, you're gonna get him because he's his third year in the league, and Pat Mahomes set the world on fire last year. He was how many times was he down last year and came back and won?
So you're saying that he set the world on fire, but he's overrated? Come on now.
He is overrated.
But he set the world on fire though.
Yeah, but he's overrated. So are you.
Okay. All right. That's why you need me, right? But whatever. But I mean, for like, what am I trying to say here? Let me collect my thoughts and just you know.
I need you because I can't beat down anybody like I beat you down. That's why I like having you around.
Under my skin, and it's pissing me off. And the fact that you hit me on a bad time because first of all, the Kansas City Chiefs they were supposed to play Thursday. I was going to get to fucking watch the Kansas City Chiefs, and now because thanks to the Tennessee Titans, they all like to kiss each other and get fucking COVID. Now I don't get to watch the Kansas City Chiefs because I'm going to end up watching the freaking Baltimore Ravens again. Listen, we are.
Hey, you should watch that so you can realize how wrong you are about Lamar Jackson.
I saw him. He beat the Cincinnati Bengals. Congratulations, man. Congratulations.
There's a reason why they will push the Kansas City Chiefs to air the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson's a better watch.
No, the reason why they air Lamar Jackson here is because he graduated from Louisville.
Did I just get a sigh out of you? Did you just sigh at me?
Yeah. But it pisses me off because Kansas City's only 8 hours from where I live, and Baltimore's like 11 hours. So it's not closer. It's just damn you, Coombs. Jesus.
Hey, look, it's not my fault that Lamar is greater than Patty Mahomes.
Now you're talking gibberish. You are talking flat out gibberish now. So let's kind of keep it underneath the younger generation quarterbacks. Like I'm not talking Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, those boys, right?
Right.
I mean, Lamar Jackson isn't even top 5 in the younger class of generation of quarterbacks. Maybe he's number 5. You have Russell Wilson, number 1, Patrick Mahomes, then you have Deshaun Watson, and then Kyler Murray. Hell, Josh Allen is better than Lamar Jackson. And you cannot type that. Get out of here with that, little cheater. So tell me, if you put Lamar Jackson on the Houston Texans, does he make them better right now?
I don't think anybody could have made them better because I believe Deshaun Watson. Out of those three, I still believe it, and I believed it at the draft, even when the freaking Bears pissed me off that night in the draft. Deshaun Watson was the best quarterback in that draft, and he's still the best quarterback in that draft.
So you're saying that Deshaun Watson is better than Patrick Mahomes and Mitchell Trubisky?
Yes. Dude, I'm better than Mitchell Trubisky.
That's a damn lie. You must be at least 6 foot tall to even make
That seed that you emptied into a napkin earlier is better than Mitchell Trubisky.
It was a wet wipe, but we'll get that. We'll get past that. But I do think Deshaun Watson is pretty good. I think he is. We're talking about overrated. I think he is underrated. People don't realize how shitty the Houston Texans are. You put any other quarterback on the Houston Texans right now, they would have not went to the playoffs last year. They would have not went to the playoffs the year before that. They are a complete dumpster fire without Deshaun Watson.
Absolutely.
100%. He is completely overrated. And Jameson says Taysom Hill is a joke. Why is he a joke? I mean, Coombs, you don't really like Taysom Hill, right?
No, Taysom Hill is overrated. He's a gimmick guy. That's what he does. So no, Taysom Hill is a guy. If you need to run a quarterback sneak or anything like that, it is, I mean, it's just we're gonna have a battle here. and you put it backwards, by the way.
I did it on purpose. I did it on purpose. Since we are on the all ALLACCESS network here.
Yeah. That thing. That one. That's the network we're on. Yeah.
The All Access Sports Network.
All Access Sports Network.
AllAccessSportsNetwork.com.
Hey, look, check us out on allaccessportsnetwork.com. Check out the TSS Facebook page. Check out the Man Hour Facebook page. Check out the YouTube pages, most importantly, and click subscribe. The Triple Shot Sports Podcast. We are so close to 100. We've been trying to get to 100 for a while. So close to 100 subscribers. I think when I last looked at it, we were at like 87. So let's get to 100 so we get that URL going so we're easier to find on YouTube, please.
There we go, guys. Man Hour After Dark every Monday through Thursday, 10 p.m. East Coast time, 9 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Mountain, 7 p.m. What's that? West Coast time? That would put 5 o'clock Hawaiian, right?
Something like that, yeah.
So whatever, guys. See you tomorrow. We have special guests on tomorrow, possibly a Ohio State commit from the FC.